Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Corinne Earl, and my reason for creating this video and offering it to you is for you to get a better idea, better sense of who our online health and fitness coaching team is, who Birch Feather is, hear about our backstory, hear a bit about what brought us to this point and where we want to take this team and how we want to develop it so that you can see if there's a place for you within this, so that you can get a good vibe and sense as to whether or not coaching on our team and joining our team would be a good fit for you. So without further ado, I will get started and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, so I should I'll be completely honest and say that this slide here will probably be the one where I'll spend the most time, not because I love talking about myself so much as because I think it's very important for you to have a really good sense as to who I, being the creator of this team, who I am, where I come from, like what my story is, so that you have a much better insight as to what brought me to this point. And then you can also, of course, see if this is something that you vibe with, of course, right? So bear with me as I take a few minutes here, and likely we'll spend more time on this page than on most others. Okay, so again, my name is Corinne Earl. I am from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I am married to Derek. We've been together since 2001, and we have two kids, Armand and Josephine. Armand was born in 2011 and Josephine in 2013. I'm a school teacher by trade, and I was teaching when I had Armand. I went back for 7 months between the two. We have a nice long maternity leave here in Canada. And then when I had Josephine, I realized that I didn't want to go back to teaching. My dream was to stay home with my kids like my mom had done. And I knew that in my heart, like what was important to me, I felt like I would regret not being home with them. And I really wanted to try to make that happen. Now, bear in mind that, my husband and I, there were two professional full-time incomes being brought into the home. So to take one of them and remove it would have been quite the demand, and it would have been possible financially, but it would have been tight. Obviously, we wouldn't be saving as much for the future without one full-time income. But it meant a lot to me, and I was able to show him the value in it as well. And we decided that I would stay home for the first year, for 1 year, take a 1 year at a time kind of thing. And we made a decision that I would start a home daycare, and it was perfect. And I had a plan. I had the children I was going to watch. It was all set up. So that was to start in September of 2014. And coincidentally, that spring, so like April, around actually, I think it was actually February that I originally met her. I met someone online. Her name is Rania, and she was just so nice. We became fast friends on social media. She would always share the most helpful things, like posts about her fitness and her nutrition and her personal growth, but it was very real. I didn't feel like she was trying to sell me anything. It was just a girlfriend living her life with her family and sharing what she was doing. I was really drawn to that, but I'm not one to do like programs or anything like that. So she would invite me to online like free groups that she would host, kind of like these open groups, which I would join and we get a ton of value from. I love the energy within there. I love like offering sort of what I was doing as tips and stuff. And we just did that for a few months. And then in July, I believe it's that year, I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy a new program launch. This is in the days of DVDs, not online streaming. And I thought, I'm going to buy a program just to say thank you to my friend, because she's done so much. I thought she's just such a helpful person. I'm like, I just want to support her. So I'll buy this new program that's coming out called PIO. And more than any, I kind of saw it as a donation. So I was like, okay, that'll be a really nice gesture, which I did, and she appreciated it. And then when I got the program, I did first couple of videos and I was not feeling it. Like, this is not good. Like, it's not my vibe. Because I was a runner already, but I looked into returning it. Shipping was expensive, and I didn't want to return it because I knew my friend would lose her commissions. It's like, oh, I'll just keep it. And I said, and you know what? Because I have this program, I'm just going to look at this nutrition guide more closely. And then I thought, well, Rennie is hosting a group for the programs and stuff. And I'm like, well, you know, I couldn't just do it. Just do it. You can run and do PIO. You don't have to follow the workout like by the letter or what have you. But like, what happens in those sentences I told myself was, I'm just going to see what happens if I follow this program, the nutrition plan, especially for 3 weeks. So that was my mindset. I'm just going to see what happens. You know, it's not, I'm in control here. It's not like this is some sort of diet that I have to do or else I won't love myself. No, I'm just in control. I'm going to see what happens. I've never done anything like this because to me, any kind of nutrition plan prior to this would have been like, you're, you know, you really hate yourself and you must be really keen on like torturing yourself if you're doing something like this. That was much more my mindset. Whereas it's like, no, you just eat what you want, try to stay within like healthy-ish foods. But anything more than that would be depriving, would be negative, would be like, you know, unhealthy or bordering into like the, you know, like problems, like, you know, like anorexia, bulimia, or whatever, eating disorders is what I was looking for. That was really my mindset. But I thought, I'm in control. I'm just going to see. Brenda's doing this. People are doing this. I'm sure it's fine, kind of thing. And I did. And I was blown away. I was blown away. I was blown away first by how, when I came with that mindset, it was easy, quotation marks, because I was in the right mindset, but it was easy to follow. Like it took a couple days to get used to it. I remember when I first read like what they would consider a portion of almonds compared to what I was. Like, wow, that's a difference. Like I would have thought a portion of almonds would have been like 40 almonds, and they're like, actually, it's 10. I'm like, okay. So those little changes like that took a few days to get used to, but it wasn't bad. It was empowering, and the group was there to support and encourage. And so you're like, this is actually kind of fun. And everyone's like, I know. And I got amazing results. So like this picture here, these are my PIO results. And so like always a happy, healthy 145, 150 here, right? And then from July to October, though, following nutrition plan, and still including wine and evenings and stuff like weekends or what have you a little. Like it wasn't torture at all. It was empowerment. It was so empowering and wonderful. And I lost a lot of weight and I gained so much confidence. The thing I gained most and the thing that impressed me most, that really resonated most, was how much of a paradigm shift I had from this experience. It was like I went from thinking you could never be a certain weight or a certain size without killing yourself, like, you know, without it becoming torturous or you became very gravely ill, or, you know, and it wasn't that I wanted to be a certain size. Like I was like, oh well, whatever, I'm happy as a size 10, and I was. But it was just that I was just through like natural and empowering actions, I went down to like a size 4, even 2 at one point. And I wasn't like trying to deprive myself. It was just, it happened. And that was the paradigm shift. It was so empowering to see that you could change and that you don't have to stay there forever or whatever. It's not about that. It's just about how you can become something else, and it can be done in a positive way. And this is, of course, the platform. The example is through fitness and nutrition and you know, weight and stuff like that. But it really is just one example of so many things that I've followed that have led me to a better life, really. And by that I mean that it also empowered me to like not take every moment so seriously, and know that things can change in a good way, in a bad way, like whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's okay. You don't have to have this like closed mindset. It's like be open to new opportunities, to new adventures, to new possibilities. So I was so blown away. I was so blown away by how positive it was. I decided to join coaching as well, because I wanted other people to feel what I was feeling. And this is like a couple weeks before I'm starting my home daycare. I'm not thinking I'm going to do this as a job, like as a career, as a way to stay home with my kids at all. I'm like, I just really want to try this. And that surprised me so much because I actually do not care for network marketing, and I knew it was part of network marketing, and I was like, I'm like embarrassed to be doing something that's included in this world of network marketing, but I'm so drawn to what this is and how we help people, to what the products are like, that I'm taking the risk. Like, I'm putting myself out there, and I did, and it was a wonderful experience. It was at first it was harder because I had to overcome a lot of fears about offering my help, a lot of fears about what people will think. Why am I doing this? Is it something malicious that I'm trying to do? Like, I had that fear. Sorry, just passed. And so it's a lot of that. It's a lot of like how to offer your help in a way that's encouraging. And that took some practice, because, anytime you start something new, you got to practice and become better. And I was very resistant at first. I was very resistant because I didn't want people to start and it wouldn't work for them. And I felt like, oh, I don't want that. But then I realized, this might be perfect for some people. And this, you have to just get over yourself. You have to get over those fears. It means so much to you. You've had incredible experiences from it. Go and just boldly offer your help. So probably about 6 months, because the first 3 months, I refused to offer to have people buy stuff from me. I was so scared people would think I'm in this for money. I was like, don't buy anything from me. I wasn't really offering my help. I was very, very careful, very like cautious in the beginning. But then I realized I was holding people back from possibly experiencing what I had experienced. So I started, and I really jumped in, and I fell in love, and I started to see growth. And I had such a wonderful like growth year, especially in 2015, 2016. Those were the 2 big years where it was just incredible to be able to offer help, for people to start, for people to get results. And I was just so in love with it. And at this point, I'm still doing it just as a passion project. But I was wanting to do it more. So we decided that I'd give coaching 10 months, or actually, I think we had said 6 months. And if I could get it to a point of paying like the mortgage, and I could stop the home daycare and focus on this. And it took 10 months. And then I decided to drop my permanent position I was just like on leave, and focus on this. Now, before I didn't really mention this picture. This is from Summit of 2015, and that was such an exciting time I had been recognized from a few different things because of my progress and how quickly I had grown. And there were so many wonderful moments that came from a place of simply helping people. The heart was just open and excited to offer my help to people. And that it brought in incredible results too, like, coaching results, we'll say. But the intention in these moments here was always just to help people. And when I was there and excited about that, it was incredible how my growth was. But for me personally, once I started to like wear like the business hat of it, and I started to like try to focus on how to grow it as a business, which a lot of people do very successfully. For me, it in hindsight now, I could see that it started to tear at my true intention and vision and reasons for doing this. And the truth of the matter is, I burnt out. It burnt me out. I was not interested in helping people after. By 2018, 17, 18, I was done offering my help. I didn't want to do it. I was cynical and upset, and I was not in a good place. I didn't want to do anything, which was stunning, because before that, it was hard to take me away from wanting to help people. But then when I was like trying to do it in a way that wasn't authentic to me, where I would have been taught like, oh, people who grow businesses, these are the kind of actions they're doing, this is how they're doing it. And I would try to mimic that. And it was more the intention in my actions that felt not in alignment. And so that I believe now is really in part what burnt me out and what made me stop. And I took a whole year off in 2019, basically. In 2018, I went back to teaching. In the fall of 2018, went back to being afternoon classroom teacher, did that all 2019, and basically just let coaching stop. And I just didn't really touch it for a year, really, which is so, I'm surprised by that. But that's what I needed. I needed that break, and I needed a lot of time to just decompress and reflect. And for the last month or so, I've been thinking about it much more, offering my help much more. And now what I realized like a month or so ago is that I'm something that's very important to me, and maybe this resonates with you as well, which is why I'm bringing all of these points up. I hope they're all resonating with you in some way, is um, doing more with my life. Then I'm very serious. Like, it's something that I hold dear in my heart, that I should be doing more to help make the world a better place. Like, I've been given so many wonderful things in life, like a strong family, love, good children, careers, like everything. I've been given so much, and I love teaching because it's a great way to pay forward and develop a new community, a new society, right? Like, there's so many wonderful things about teaching that is super impactful. I love being a mother for those same reasons. I love my marriage. I love being a good sister. Like, so I don't think I'm not doing anything, but I also think that I've been given so much that really it would be, I feel in my heart I should do more beyond my bubble, beyond my little cluster of people closest to me. Like, think of my parents, my grandparents who did so much for us. And it's like, I got to pay that forward in my eyes beyond just the small community that I'm a part of. And that's what really draws me to coaching, and to Beachbody coaching, to Birch and Feather coaching, the team I've created, because you can have a wonderful impact on so many people beyond your small group, right? And also, it's something that I truly believe in: fitness and nutrition and personal development, and teaching healthy mindsets, like habits around it, and teaching body image empowerment, and just embracing the journey and the value in that. There's so much of that that I truly believe in. At the heart of my heart is like the importance of that, and how much happier and healthier you are as a person, and how much happier and healthier your family is when this is included. So it's something I'm proud to represent and to work towards, and I believe in it immensely. I believe there's a place for it. But now I'm not approaching it as a place of like, grow business and let's become the #1 team, and how much growth have we had this month, and like based around ranks or incomes or points or systems that are commonly used within the industry to reflect success. And to me, when I think about those success benchmarks, they are not in alignment with me. So for me, it's much more, approach this as your labor of project. It's a labor of love, as a way to pay it forward, as an act of kindness, as a way to help make the world a better place, and do it like almost like as a volunteer project. So to me, coaching is no longer about having to put in X amount of hours to grow a business and make sure that there's growth monthly, because a good business person, and I would think that if you own a business, you'd want to do those kind of things. They don't light me up though. What lights me up is, how much of your time did you give to others? How much did you try to serve others? Like, what were you doing? What was your intention in offering your help? Who were you able to help? What kind of success stories did you have this month, this week? Those, like, which families are healthier now because you took the boldly asked them how they're, you boldly asked mom, how are you doing with your fitness? How's it going with your nutrition? You feeling supported? And it's bold. You have to overcome an obstacle usually to do that, and then listen carefully. But those would be more the benchmarks. And that's where I want to take this team. And that's what this team, Birch and Feather, is all about. Birch and Feather actually comes from a life coaching business that I thought of trying when I was confused with what to do with Beachbody. And I did a bit of trade life coaching, and I realized I don't want to be a life coach. But I loved my team name. Like, I love my business name. So I kept that because it's a reflection of the kind of people we are. we're grounded. Like it's important to just be who we are, be authentically ourselves, and it's not about putting on a show. We're just grounded, but with a soul for discovery, in the sense that we want to do more. We believe in more, and bringing that to more people and help people live richer, fuller lives. And we do it through the platform of fitness, nutrition, and personal growth, which is incredible, which I can't even begin to tell you how important it has been through the years. So I'm going to also now go to the next slide and share more with you that who is on our team, what we are. So, oops, I should feel like I'm in this away here. I'll put myself over where I don't know. I'll go over here. All right. So who we are, really, it's as simply said as a heart-led group of women and who believe in offering our help, our support, and our accountability to others as they work on their fitness, their nutrition, their personal growth. And we do that while we work on our journeys. So it sounds long, I feel like it's a long statement, but it's simple in the sense that we just believe in offering help. Like for me, I'm successful, so to speak. I said I've had a successful day if I was talking to someone and I said, how are you doing? Like, what's going on with the fitness and nutrition? I host these online groups. Did you want to know about it? And go and just offer your help, because what if they need it? And that's the intention. And we specifically work and use fitness, nutrition, and personal growth. It's all three really together. So it's not, and that was something I didn't like about life coaching. It was kind of like you're listening more and you're not really offering something that I find works as well as this for me, like in my alignment of who I was. And so it's really like the value that comes from including more fitness, including better nutrition, or working on what you want for nutrition, and working on your mindset through it. It's so powerful. And we do this as a heart-led, like we're very heart-led, everybody in here. So I'll just talk about some of the people that are here. Like Sherry is such a heart-led leader who just wants to support her friends and work at offering them that kind of accountability, that kind of support. That's what's important, is just, being there and being together and making those things happen. I know Connie also, she just really wants more women to discover more of who they are, more of what they can do through this very powerful and strong community. And it's so enriching how much you can change and improve as a person, and that your physical results can change. And sometimes they change dramatically, like we're in weight loss, but then sometimes when you go through a season in life and you're not really wanting to be as healthy as you have been or what have you, and you'll say if you put weight back on, that you can accept that and embrace it and see it in a different paradigm shift. It's not like a yo-yo diet thing anymore. It's like we're just living real lives here, and we're doing the best we can using these resources. So that's what this is all about. I know a lot of coaches too on our team, while they figure this out, while they come and help, they learn more about themselves. Like Vera has become a personal trainer, and so she's sort of branched off into that along with this. But it's like it could open doors to so many other things. Same with Steph here, who also is a personal trainer now and wants to just help the elderly, like help an older generation of women especially include more fitness, more nutrition, so that they can stay in their homes longer. That really matters to her. So there's always a place for your why in this, and like your reasons and what you're being drawn to, if you believe in this concept of it being done for fitness, nutrition, and personal growth, because that's like a key cornerstone of what this is. So that's a bit of who we are. And this is the kind of people I think that would feel most at home with this team as well. People who feel like, just what I said here about this support and accountability through fitness, nutrition, personal growth while working on their journey, that kind of stuff resonates. That's what we're looking for, more than someone who wants to you know, necessarily be like the top coach in the country and biggest business builder up there, and like where their focus is on other kind of growth. Ours is much more on a personal inner growth and the value that comes from helping people and seeing people get the changes that they're searching for. So what we do, I mentioned it a lot, but I kind of was hoping that this image could express it a little more differently. Fitness, nutrition, and personal growth are basically the three pillars, like the 3 points of what it is. But we work on them in this circle of support and accountability. And what I mean by that is that, yes, like what we do is we use specific, fitness programs through our company, through Beachbody. We use the nutrition plans and, like we use these things that in a way that matches our needs and what we want to do. So there's a lot of options. There's a lot of fitness options. There's a lot of nutrition options. There's a lot of personal growth options. And we pick and choose the ones that we want based on what we're feeling and what our goals are. And as coaches, we would help you do the same, or as a coach, you would help others do the same, I should say. And so it's not like, oh, okay, that's it. You absolutely have to follow this specific program to the letter or else. Like, no, you have to buy all of these extras. No, it's what would be best for you. That first of all, you need. So we'd have conversations to see what you need. Where are you struggling? What kind of fitness do you like? And so on. Like I'd always learn more about the people I'm working with. Like that's a major part of my job, so to speak, of like my role as a coach is figuring out where you're at, where whoever I'm talking to that wants to have support with their fitness, nutrition, personal growth, like, well, what are your needs? What are your goals? What are your struggles? So that we can really dig deeper to figure it out. And that's something you learn how to ask and do properly with time. And there's a lot of training for that too. But then we do it within a circle of support and accountability. So most of the time it's through online groups that are through the streaming app of Beachbody, the company we work with, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But most of it is through that online support group. It's like a small community of people, and in our case, it's almost always women only, basically always women only, who are checking in there daily. And I know for me in those groups, I always offer a specific daily tip, just a daily tip sort of to kind of get us thinking, reflecting. People will message it. And then most people who are part of it will share their workout. They'll share, their mindset for the day. They'll share possibly a recipe, but it's more just like a corner to hang out, a space to hang out and be included in your journey with others, and there is a need for that. Sometimes I will just, people really don't like the online groups like style. I would just do weekly check-ins, and I do weekly check-ins usually anyway with the people in the group, but there's always a level of support and accountability. And that's what makes this so special. It's not hey, here's your program, buy this program from me, bye, good luck. Like, no, there's always more. It's always about the supporting. And the support and the accountability is where the success, that's why the Beachbody actually created this Team Beachbody, the coaching system, because they realized that people that were succeeding with their programs were those who were getting support and accountability. Before coaches existed, people were just naturally becoming coaches. And so they decided to create this model. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It works very, very well. And so that's, in a sense, as simply as that is what we do. In understanding how to put groups together, how to, find people to join or whatever, all of that is part of the training, like it's part of the learning as a coach. So you don't have to worry about anything if you're feeling like, I don't know how to do any of those things. Basically, no one does unless you've been in a group a million times. And even then, you don't really know. Like there's always a learning curve in everything. But we would be there to help you and guide you and give you training that you need. So how we help people, I brought this up a lot, but we do work with a company called Beachbody. So Beachbody is a multi-million-dollar, internationally known company, fitness and nutrition program company. They have online fitness programs. I'm sure most likely you've heard of some of their programs like 21 Day Fix or the P90X series or Shaun T's Insanity. And there's a lot of incredible programs that exist, and they are just, I think they might even be $1 billion company. They know what they're doing. And that's why I say that, because they really know what they're doing. They've been around for over 20 years now, and they just keep coming up with good stuff, like fresh stuff, effective. And what I love about them now, especially everything, all their programs are through the streaming website. It's very user friendly. There's so many options. So as a coach, it's easy to promote it. Like you have so many tools to offer people. You know, and if they're like, well, I don't like cardio, but I like this, and I did like this, and I like that. It's like, all right, well, I got 4 options for you. Like, you know, there's so many options, and it's well done. And the trainers in each program are just so great, and it's easy to follow. There's talent. There's like, it's so like, it's that. Even when I was struggling with my place in Beachbody and not knowing what I wanted, I've always loved Beachbody. I've always loved the programs, and I never knew them before I started coaching, like just a few weeks before coaching, frankly. Like I had heard of the programs, but I figured those were for crazies, like insanity, you know? But then I discovered there's so much more to it. So the nutrition plans are so fantastic. They have so many great supplements for people who want that, you know. Shakeology is something I've been using since 2014. And sometimes I think, oh, you know, maybe sometimes I'll go like, okay, well, I'll take a little break, or we'll just get 1 bag instead of 2 this month, my husband and I will share it. And then I'll run out and I'll be like, dang it, I gotta get that bag. Like you miss it and you're like, I see the value in all of this. Like it's so awesome. I know a lot of people love Performance Line, like you know, Energize and all sorts of supplements to use before and after a workout. And if you want those things, it's the top. It's like the best quality products out there. They put so much, they invest so much into them, and you could tell it's there. But it's effective, and it's also affordable. Beachbody On Demand is so affordable. Like I tell people often, well, probably if you're going to work with me, it'll cost you somewhere between cheap to free, like really, when you think about it, because Beachbody On Demand is a 2-week free trial. And then from there, it's not expensive. Like, you know, I'll name the prices now, but the prices slightly change every few months or what have you, you know, or a couple of years. But we're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about way less than a gym membership. We're talking about way less than drop-in yoga classes, basically. And I don't mean to insult those places, but it's not deadly. If people are paying for Netflix, they're able to pay for this. So it's easy to promote it because it's effective and affordable. And yes, you could definitely spend a lot of money and, you know, invest in the supplements and invest in the shakes and everything else, like in Shakeology. And great, if that's where you want to spend your money and that's what you deem important, then by all means, yes, we'd encourage it. But it's not like you have to. So it's easy to promote something that you believe in and that you feel can work with so many different people as well. So these are the tools though that we use. So we're not just like private fitness people who will create our own programs or anything like that. No, which makes it even better because you don't have to be a pro. None of, like I mentioned, two people on the team were personal trainers. Now they are, but when we started, like they went and did that off with a different organization. Like Beachbody is just everyday people who believe in what this represents and are excited to share that with people. And so I love that part of it too. So you don't have to put in all the effort. Like I remember when I was doing my life coaching, couldn't believe how many things I needed to do. And you spend hours trying to create something and it's ugly. And you're like, oh my God. Whereas Beachbody like, here, we got $1 billion company for you to promote. Like, I think I'm gonna do this. This is way better. This is way easier. It's clear. Like, it's so much better. So I'm proud, very, very proud to work with them, and I highly, it's easy to share it because it's so great. Okay, So let's talk a bit about why we do this, because I am such a believer in why. Why you do something is the make or break point of everything. And, you know, when I think back to earlier, when I wasn't in a good space with Beachbody, it's because my why was not in alignment at all with who I was. You know, I didn't really want to build a business. Like I wasn't good at that. I wasn't drawn towards that. I want to help people. And and I mean, they go together. And I'm not trying to imply that people who build businesses with this don't help people. They absolutely do. But it wasn't what was motivating me. Anyway, I'll just, I'll stop on that point. But I will say that why I do this and why so many of us do are for the success stories, first and foremost. Like, so what I have here on the right, this is a typical group for me. This is a typical online group where probably that day I asked, so what are some of the non-scale victories you guys have had? Like, what are some victories you've had since starting this, you know? And this is, I can't get over how often this is the stuff that people tell me on the daily in the groups too. You hear about positive results people are getting because of your help, basically, because you put a group together, because you offered them your help, because you found them the right program to start with, you know? So like my clothes are fitting better. I'm feeling good. And then I have more energy. Skin looks clearer. You know, I can put my summer clothes on. All of those things. I haven't been taking daily naps. I have more energy. Do you know how valuable and important that is to so many people? Do you know how frustrating it is when you're not there, and that when you start to do something like this, you get those results? Like you, it's enlightening. It's so enriching. And as a coach, for you to be the one that helps people get that, to me, that means so much. That is absolutely, without a doubt, the reason why I coach, because I get so much value from people saying stuff like that, from people sharing how much better they're feeling. And we're talking about health here. Like it's incredible how you can like make families healthier. That one too is something that I personally truly believe in, that when you as a coach are helping a mother, because we work with women, you know, so I'll use this example. When you help a woman get healthier, like, okay, she's starting a fitness program, she's making changes to her nutrition, your children are seeing her exercise daily, your children are, you know, incorporating more nutritious meals, you know, we're drinking more water, we're stopping less for Slurpees or what have you. That has such a positive effect on the mother, but it has such a positive effect on her children and on her spouse. I can't tell you how many spouses too have in the end made positive changes because their wives did. And there's such a trickle effect to all of that is extremely rewarding, extremely important. There's a place for this, absolutely. And you get to be the one that does that. You are the one, the catalyst for that, for those specific people. Does that mean you have to be with, like, they have to work with you forever, or if they do something else down the road that you failed and, oh, no, you are the one in this moment that has the privilege and the gift, like the honor to help them get this, like live this experience. And the truth is, not every single person you have that will join a group will get the most life-altering results. Honestly, usually every time I host a group, even though I have the conversations, we work it out, you know, it's very meticulous with every one of them. There's usually one or two new people. Like there's probably one, we'll say, that at least that doesn't do anything, just didn't work. And you're like, oh, that's a shame, too bad, that didn't work out. But that's normal too. Like, it's okay. Everybody's at different places. You do your best. It's not about having to have 100% success. It's about taking that journey, helping people, and you don't know who's going to have their lives changed by this. And I'll add two more stories that for me are extremely impactful. Actually, let me just name a couple more extra reasons why. Okay, first of all, this is some of the people I've helped. I won't say their names, but I can't tell you how many people I helped lose 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 pounds. Like, that's a lot, you know? And when you're not feeling great in this moment where you're at, and you can find something like this, and the weight, sure, that's great, but it's the mindset around it that is just beautiful. That's what makes it so exciting. Then it's things like lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol, you know, more energy, finding a community, better health. Well, this one I always love, like when people say, I had a baby a year and a half ago, I'm still wearing my maternity clothes. Now finally I'm wearing my old clothes again. That matters. Like, I know it might sound shallow for some, but man, does that matter. Anxiety down. Like, you know, so many things. What else? There was another one I want. I've heard this one a few times, where wedding rings fit again. And it doesn't sound like a big deal unless maybe you have put on weight to the point where your wedding rings aren't fitting anymore, and you're like, that I want to be able to wear my wedding ring and not have to get it resized. There's no shame in resizing. It's not the point of this. The point is that there's a lot of emotion attached to that. There's a lot of you know, emotion, really. And if you're a person who can come in and kindly and respectfully help these people find what they're looking for, and encourage and support them along their way, and it leads to some results like that, it brings tears to your eyes. It brings tears to my eyes. Like, it makes it all worthwhile. It makes me feel like what I'm doing matters, and that what I'm doing in this world is of value to people. So that's empowering. And I'll add 2 last stories for changing lives. So I have one of my cousins. He was carrying about at least 100 pounds more than the healthy weight that his doctor had suggested, and that he felt he would want to have as well. And so it was really hard. Like, it was a really, it weighed heavy on him. And I don't mean to pun that, but, you know, it really was. He felt like he was kind of putting his life at risk too, right? Because it's, when you're over 200, when you're 300 pounds, we'll say, that's a lot. And he found this, like, you know, like, he started following me on social media, and we started working together, and he lost 100 pounds. And 100 pounds is a different life. It's so many more years added on, because it's done in a healthy way, in an empowering way. That's just one example. And another one that always resonated was another friend who never once exercised. Or rather, that's not true. She never once exercised beyond like 2 days, 3 days in a row, ever in her life. And often she'd like exercise 2, 3 days and then take like a few weeks, months off, right? You probably know people like this, and it's just this tedious, horrible thing, and just hates it and didn't want to do it, but felt like she needed to for health reasons, and, you know, and had young girls, and they're watching. And then finally, after following me on social media for 2 years at least, she said, "Okay, Corinne, I'm ready." And we started just with a program, and she never missed a day in over 365 days. I think she still hasn't. This is 3 years later. And obviously she's had so many changes, so she's just transformed so much. But really, it's kind of what I love best about those kind of stories is now her daughters are raised in a home where mom takes really good care of herself. Mom is like making sure that she's exercising. Mom is making sure that she's putting time for herself, and that matters, and that you can be a fantastic mom and tell your kids, wait, I'm not done my workout. I got to work out. Like, priority here is that. In my eyes, that is a message that I would hope my kids see from me. I don't think that's selfish in the least. I think it's selfless to exercise, especially in front of your children, because they are getting so much from that, and they're going to see you, and they're going to take all of those good examples, and not just for fitness, but also for caring for yourself. Like, you're saying, I matter. I'm definitely doing this. I matter. You matter. which is why I want to stay healthy for you. There's so much. And I've never found anything that I have seen more success stories from, like Beachbody. Like, I have never been included in something where I have personally helped more people have success than Beachbody. I'm not talking about the other coach. I'm talking about what I have had through others working with me and through the coaches on my team. We're not even talking about the coaches and like the benefits that comes to you of having these moments, right? There's so many. It's incredible. I think I stayed on this page longer than most, but why we do this matters incredibly. And some people, new people especially, or people who, maybe feel like they're not kind of growing, building this and feeling comfortable with it as quickly as they would want. They feel like, well, I'm not good at this, or I'm not good enough, or it's not working for me, Work Street doesn't for me. And the thing is, even if you just ended up helping 2 people in your entire career as a coach, those 2 people, you could have changed their lives. And really, you probably will help more, especially if you believe in it and you want to get excited and keep offering it. It's incredible. I wish it on all of you. I wish this on all of you, because your lives emotionally can be changed forever, like so many ways. Okay, so what we believe, and I kind of wanted to touch a bit on this just to give you a sense of, as a team, what we believe in and what makes us maybe even different from other teams. We're very heart-led, caring, nurturing team. It's about encouraging and empowering and like helping these women see the value and saying like, yes, you can. We're going to do this. Yes. Without being pushy and negative and like, some sort of drill sergeant coach that you hated. It's about really having that gentle touch and finding the right balance, which honestly takes experience as well. If you've never done it, it takes experience, it takes learning, and that's fine, because you're doing it for all of those reasons we just talked about. So definitely heart-led, caring, nurturing. I see this, and so because this is the team that I've created, this is the energy that I believe in, is to approach this as a volunteer mindset, from a volunteer mindset, more than just a discount coach, because when you're a coach you get a discount. That's fine, that's great. That's not why I would stay on personally. Like, I like to offer my help. It's an act of kindness. It's a way to pay it forward. It's a way to serve others. It's a way to volunteer for your community. Like, that's the kind of mindset I have around it. It's focused on that over just doing it, ho hum hobby kind of. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. That's not like, you probably won't grow. Like, and by grow, I mean just experience as many great wins that way. If you're kind of 1 foot in for a day and then, out for 2 weeks, it'll be hard for people to trust you and to like feel like connected and like, I really want this person can help me, so there's a sense of like, you'd want to spend more time on it. The time's going to pass anyway, and you just place it as a priority because of the benefits that can come from it. And for me, I find like I like to volunteer anyway, so it's like, what a great project to offer some time to. And it doesn't have to be endless. It could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. It could be like 5 hours a week. It could be however you want to see it. But if you're anything like me, you'll just become drawn to it. And so you want to put time towards it every day because it's fun and it's rewarding. So that's the mindset of the team. Success is really when clients and coaches get the results that they want and they have a great experience. And I know that at one point when I was trying to build this as a business, I felt like a lot of success benchmarks were more like, okay, well, how many new coaches did you join? How many new people did you, did you purchase from you? How many points are you having? Where are you on like the leaderboard? Where are you on this? And it was like internal sort of benchmarks that didn't coincide with why. Like, that actually wasn't, even when I would reach those things. I reached like rank advancements and I reached like all-star blah, blah, like all of these sort of in-house corporate sort of concepts. But those, and I, in some ways, I'll be honest, I forced myself to reach it. Like I put in the work, even if my mindset wasn't always right, to try to reach those benchmarks. But then I got there and I was like, now what? Actually, I'm just more than anything relieved that I did it. And I'm kind of a little stressed that I might not do it again, And it was like, there was no value in there. Like there is when you get those success stories. So I want all my energy to put placed on that, on what people are telling me, what the coaches that joined the team are saying, like, this is changing my life. I'm literally have my life changed from purpose and having more value. And that stuff is success, so much more than the name your name on the national wake up call or whatever. They've named my name and it was fun and it's nice and you hear it, but then you're like, really, that's not why I do this. It's not important in the end. It does that won't change lives as much as those other things. It's a simple mindset shift there, but it's important for me. And that's the kind of stories, those are the kind of, that's the language you would hear in the team. We're genuine in our conversations and our help. So we want to do what feels right over maybe what we feel needs to be done to grow, and I know I struggled with that when I was trying to build it in a certain way. It's like, well, successful business developers here, they're doing all these things, check marks of all these things every day, no matter what, just to remember. I was at a conference one and the girl was like, I was sick as a dog on the floor and I hadn't offered my help to anyone that day. And so I, took a break from throwing up and messaged people and I'm like, oh God, is that what it is? I don't want to do that. If I'm sick, I'm taking a sick day. Like, there's no way. Why? How are you possibly really wanting to help people? We're not firefighters who absolutely need to, like, it's okay. I think that what we do matters immensely, but I think the energy you go at with this has to matter more than anything else. And I thought that was too extreme. I'm like, okay, I do not want to encourage that kind of those activities, because then people, sometimes I've seen in the past, coaches become confused and they become nervous and they become stressed and feel pressured into doing things because, like, wow, a good coaches, successful coaches are doing all of those things, and you're like, well, I want to be responsible, I want to be successful, I better make sure I do those even though I'm not being authentic in the moment. I'm measuring my success by how authentic I am. I'm measuring my success by how helpful what I'm offering actually is. I'm measuring it by, are these people is what I'm sharing on social media truly gonna help or truly gonna entertain? Or am I just saying this because I want them to do this and you're trying to lead people? There could be this kind of change or this kind of mindset. So this is what I believe in now. This is what I believe in when I had the most success. This is what I was doing. What I want to do moving forward is this. This is what you would hear in this team. That's what we do here. That's how we lead. Authentic conversations, genuine help offered. And even through that, it requires overcoming fears, because you're like, I can authentically offer my help, but if a person doesn't know me that well, I don't know what their backstory is, I don't know how they'll receive it. I have to say, though, in my years of doing this, one time I think I had somebody say, like, I know what you're doing. One time. I've had thousands of conversations. I've had much worse returns with my students, like, in the classroom kind of thing. Like, so for the most part, if you're genuine, people absolutely appreciate it. And they might say, no thanks. That's normal, but they will not think less of you. They won't, you could be proud and great to have offered that. And we do this as a fun passion project along with other priorities. It's not, I gotta do like this stressful thing and just don't talk to me, don't talk, like, or what have you. No, loving place. Find a good time to do it. You know, like I find I do it best in the morning when I have most energy and stuff. Find a good time for it. Always approach it from that loving place. In my mind, you're better off going at it with like that energy and that excitement and working during those blocks than saying like every day, no matter what at this time. Though I will say, make a point of trying to include it in the routine of my day. So it matters. I love coaching. I want to help people. I believe in this, all the things I was saying earlier. So it's important to include it in the routine. Because if you say, okay, well, I'll coach when I have time, probably at the end of the day when you're tired, you no longer have time, right? Or, when it's like other things pop up, you're like, I don't really have time. So it's better to include it and place it as, and you can sit in that energy. And if that day you're like, it's not good today, nope, my energy's not good, nope, then respect that and work through it. And don't force conversation. Every one of my regrets in this has been forced moments. So I want you to avoid that, but I want you to also embrace and put in the energy and the time and like the routine required to really be able to have those success stories from it. And then last point, this is for me very personal too. Just help people regardless if they buy something from you. Like the nice thing about Beachbody is they've been around for 20 years. So a lot of people already have programs, or they have Beachbody on Demand and their coaches and active or what have you. And I just invite people to like my help with Beachbody products, with using this. And if they're like, oh, I have it, they'll be like, well, you can join our community. Like, come join the online group. Who cares? Fine. Oh, so they're on another team, and if they buy something, it's that team that gets the volume or what. Doesn't matter. You're okay. We're all going to be fine, and that person will be grateful and appreciative. And if you believe in good karma, and karma's going to come back to you in that case anyway, right? So you're fine. I find this was always a big mistake for me too, where it's like, when I was building a business, it's like, they have to buy something from me, or else how am I going to grow? And it's like, it ruins it. It ruined it for me. I know a lot of people are different in that the way they do it, they have a different approach, but that was how I felt. So that's what I believe in now. Okay, so I'll talk about common questions. And if you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate it. You must be interested, and that's a very good sign. And I know this is purposely, we'll say, taking quite a few minutes, because I want you to have a very good sense of it. All right, so I do appreciate your time. I do think it's a very good sign if you're watching this these many minutes later. Listen to that. All right, so common questions. Well, first of all, how does it work? So when you join Birch Feather is the team that I've created. I've branded it. It's not, the name itself is not associated with Beachbody, doesn't own it. It's just me that does. And you don't have to pay for it. Like, it's not like a private business that now I've sort of purchased Birch and Feather through our province or something like that. No, it's just that you brand, like the coaches within the Team Beachbody umbrella often brand them, their downline, we call them, like the people who work, the coaches that are with them, that they bring in, we'll say, just to create this sort of energy so people can choose who's the right team for them. Because let me add that the team you choose matters a lot, because their energy will be different. So like what I'm saying right now, you'll see on Instagram, there's a million other coaches out there. There's like 500,000. And you'll see that they're very different from me. They're incredible. They're gorgeous. They look like $1 million, but they're just not the same as me, And if you're resonating more with those people, then join those teams. But if you're resonating with me or our team, then join with us, because that would be the right team for your energy. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does make a difference who you do join with. Because one thing is that, okay, so how it works. Say if you said, yes, Corinne, I want to join your team. I want to become a coach with Birch and Feather. Awesome. Okay, so we would get you to join. So we'll say if you were talking directly to me. So I would say, okay, I'll send you the link. You will sign up under me, like with me as your sponsor. Okay, so you go to like the Beachbody, Team Beachbody website, you know, get you all set up, and you actually join Team Beachbody. That's like the company that you're going to be working with, you know, that you're opening a business with, so to speak. And the way that they talk about it is very much business. This is a business, and you have to give your social insurance number. What's the word in? I can't remember the term in the U.S., but like, you know, your number that you need to get paid, basically, you know, because you will receive a T4, again, a Canadian term, like your tax return kind of thing at the end of the year if you bring in money through this, if you do have sales, so to speak. So you do have to give those things because you are actually opening a network marketing, a multi-level marketing business center kind of thing, officially, right? And so you'd have to do that. You'd want to do that with your leader, with the sponsor that you're working with, so you work with them. Then once you are signed in, you probably have like 2 weeks, I think, before you could change. You could just like cancel, and then you could join any other team that same day kind of thing. But then if you've been with the team for 2 weeks, then you're with them. You're locked in with that team until for like if you were to stop your business, it would take 6 months before you could join a different team. And that's just so that people don't jump ships, and like, you know, that could get really underhanded quickly if they didn't place that restriction. But that said, if you started and 3 weeks in, you're like, I just don't like this at all, like I'm not for this, is not right for me, you could stop that same day. You know, like you're not locked in, you have to now pay the service fees for 6 months. No, you could stop coaching that same day. It's just that if you wanted to start again with a different team, you'd have to wait 6 months. If you wanted to start again with your team, you could start again the next day. So once you join with Beachbody, like with Team Beachbody, then after, the cost to join is not much. Like I think it's probably somewhere around $50 to join. But if you get like a more full package with Beachbody and Shakeology or what have you, like there's different packages that you can sort of get with products, then they would waive that fee. But regardless, I mean, $50 to start something that could change your life, and then more importantly, can change the lives of so many other people. There's never been a $50 I've spent like I've better used. And actually, my sign up fee was waived because I did get a challenge package, what we call those sort of packages. So, and then what it costs you every month is, in Canada, it's like just over $20, like $20 and some change, I think, is your monthly service fee. And that, that is wonderful, because what it gives you, everything, by that I not everything. You have to buy your own products, but biggest thing it gives you is your online office. It's like your ability to share Beachbody, right? To like think of they spend billions of dollars. Like they spend so much money on this, and that's what that cost is going towards. It's going towards your service fees. It's going towards all the customer service stuff. You don't have to do any kind of shipping. You don't have to stock stuff. Like you just say, okay, here's the link to get what it is you told me you want, kind of thing. And then your client or what have you does all that. And then that's it. Like, you know, Beachbody is the one that are handling all the rest, all the customer service, all of the websites, all of the creating new programs, like all of that stuff. You reap those benefits as a coach. Then the cost to you is $20. And then I also think that if you're part of the military or military family or what have you, all that stuff gets waived anyway. I don't get a lot of military families because it's not as popular in Canada. Like we just don't have that many military families here. But so it's peanuts what you have to, like, you know, what the cost is, and you can leave anytime you want. And then what's required? Nothing. What's required is to pay that service fee or cancel your account, kind of thing. You're not required to have to sell X amount of things. You're not required to have to put in X amount of hours. It's like a volunteer system. What do you want to put in? Obviously, the more you put in, the more you'll get from it. Almost always, basically always. I think that would be a good rule too. follow. Like that's fair to say. So you don't have to. And usually what I do when people start is the first thing is figure out what it is you want. What are your goals, your needs, and like what's your vision with this? I mean, I use a 21-day action plan for my challenge groups, like for my online groups, which is like, what are your goals? Why is that important? What are the actions you'll take to reach those goals? What are obstacles that'll come into play? And how can you overcome them? And then when will you be checking in with somebody to stay accountable? Like those are basically the 5 points that I get people to fill out, and I would get them to fill out for coaching, because it's like, what is it that you want? If you don't have a plan and you're aimlessly walking around and saying, why aren't you successful yet? Well, that's why you don't have a plan, so let us help you figure it out. And then there's a lot of training, and there's, I create new trainings as well to match what I believe in and what's worked best for me, which is available to you. And there's so much. If anything, there's, you want to sort of take that part in more simply, because it could become overwhelming. But in the end, it's all about just simply learning how to support people through this platform, through Beachbody's Fitness and Nutrition and our support and accountability groups. That would be the main key. And training, I'll tell you, step 1, lead with your good intentions. That's basically the number 1 rule. Lead with really good intentions, and already you're well on your way to be successful. That is the most important thing. You could be leading with really good intentions and still be very scared. Like, oh, that's okay. That's normal. But if your heart's in the right place, you're gonna enjoy it, and you'll very likely see much more growth. So from here, ask yourself, is this a good fit? How do you know if this is a good fit? I've thought about this. These are the 3 questions that I think would probably, in my experience, people who love this are yeses for these 3. Okay, so the first one is, does the idea of people improving their fitness, nutrition, and personal growth because of you excite you? Okay, like if someone were to say to you, I'll just call you Corinne. If you were to say, Corinne, because of you, my wedding ring's fit now. Because of you, I was running at the park and I can keep up with my kids. Because of you, I've lost 100 pounds. Because of you, I've found this community and it's given me so much purpose and value. And like all of those things, when those things literally bring tears to my eyes, it matters so much. So if you feel like, I think I would like that too, actually. I'm not totally sure. Like, you're probably not as intense as I am, maybe you are, but I've had so many experiences with it that I know the feeling, so to speak. But if that kind of sounds appealing, that's a very good sign. That's a very good sign. You don't have to be perfect. Okay? I look way more like my before bio picture right now. I'm basically, if not more, than I do like my after. And I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I'm a bad coach. And it happened because I stopped eating well and I wasn't exercising as much. Don't worry. You don't have to be perfect at all. Share your vulnerability is better. Being honest, people prefer that anyway. People resonate with that so much more. But if you think that you like this idea, that's super key. If you're like, actually, I don't really want to help people, sounds awful, then I would say, I don't know why you would want to do this, because that's what really makes it matter. Second, does the energy and approach of our team match yours? What I've said, how I've acted, the stories I've told you, the vibe you're getting from me, because this is the one you've only heard. And hopefully the person that, if I'm not the one who introduces this video, whoever it is, does their energy match yours? But especially this team. Would you be proud and happy to be part of this team in our culture? That's important. If you're like, well, I like what you guys do, but I'm just not vibing with you. I don't want to be mean. You're not mean. This is your life. You should be doing things that match your energy. So do that, okay? And there's no hard feelings. I'd way rather people want to join. Like, I don't want to pressure anyone. Sounds awful. So if you are liking this energy though, then that would be good. That's a good sign, very good sign. And the last one is, could you see yourself helping and supporting people with Beachbody programs and products? Like, it's one thing to like fitness and nutrition. It's one thing to love running. It's one thing to love, CrossFit or what have you. And those things are all wonderful. Keep doing that. Like, if you love those things and you want to promote those things, please do. Like, that's perfect. But if you're like, I want to do everything, but not Beachbody, because maybe you have had a bad experience with them, or let's just say you've had a bad experience, because that would make sense, right? Then reflect, ask yourself, if because we are Beachbody, like, that's what we use, that's the tool we use. You will feel, in my experience, people who are not strong on 3, they feel like a resistance, and they're like, something's not right. And it's probably that if you're not connecting to Beachbody, and you don't have to agree with like everything Autumn Calabrese says or what have you. I don't agree with everything every trainer says. Some trainers I'll never use because I'm like, don't vibe with you. But there's enough here for sure that I'm like, yeah, like I believe these programs, and I could change people's lives. And I believe like the way it's organized is incredible. I'm proud to support them and share them. So I will add the last thing, and then I'll let you go. If you don't know Beachbody, like, I went into coaching with I had a good experience, but I hadn't had a long experience, and I had a lot of doubts, a ton of doubts. Like, they seem like they're really into body image, like not necessarily positive body image. They seem like they're selling. They got a lot of infomercials. Like, there's lots of like red flags for me. I'm like, I don't know about the supplements. Oh my gosh. But there was enough of there was definitely enough of a voice, let's say a whisper, saying, just try it, see what it is. And that's the other thing. Try it. And like I was saying, you're not locked in. You can try it. You could say, and I think I did do that. I'm sure I did. I always do stuff like that where I'm like, I'm going to give it a month. I'm going to give it a month. I'm going to give it, X amount of hours for a month, or maybe I said 3, maybe it was even a year, whatever one feels right for you. Beyond a week, a week, something can happen. So I would say find a good time for you and say, I'm going to give it just time, see what happens. What do I have to lose? Nothing. You got nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose here. So do that. Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching this. Boy, do I hope this recorded. I sure would be mad if, sure would be disappointed if somehow the record button never worked. But thank you for watching. If you are at the end of this, please message the one that introduced you to this video to say where you're at. Let us know if you're feeling, if you want to start this. Join, get started. It's been the most impactful experience in my life, even though I had a rough patch, a major rough patch. It felt like a divorce, like I was divorcing, like someone I had been in love with. We fell out of love. It was a very rough patch. But even then, it has added more value and meaning and pride into my life. It's like so much. I can't even express it. So I wish that on you. I wish that you come and discover it and see where your place is in all of this. And I really hope to see you in the team if this is the right fit. And, if you're resonating with this, then you would fit right in. And I think you would really enjoy it. Okay, I'll stop there. Let me see. Thanks for watching. All right, now the record button won't stop, of course. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.